Warning. The following podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Remember, the first rule of gambling responsibly is to bet with your head and not over it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cousin Vito's Casino Podcast proudly presents your guide to enjoying gambling. And now, direct from the bar, your cousin and mine, Cousin Vito!
Welcome everybody to Cousin Vito's Casino Podcast, your guide to enjoying gambling. I'm your host, Cousin Vito, and together, we're going to make luck happen at the casino. Thank you for checking out a very special behind-the-scenes episode of the podcast. And I know what you're saying, what do you mean behind-the-scenes episode? What could that even mean? Well, basically, last episode we released, my pal Robin was on, and I had my friend Matt, a non-casino enthusiast, on, and we did a great interview about creating a casino enthusiast. But here's the behind-the-scenes part. We recorded the interview twice, and what I released last episode, that was the first interview we did. We did that on a Saturday night, off the cuff, It was basically doing it live for us. Matt's never been on a podcast before, so, he was getting his feet wet. And, when we did the interview, it felt good and everything, but as we started finishing up and we finished it, I said, you know what, I wish I touched more on your gambling background. We talked about his Vegas trips a little bit, and I don't know. Basically, we finished the podcast, and I felt like we could have did a better job the second time, especially because it was Matt's first time doing an interview like that. And, of course, he's going to do another one when we go to our trip, which we're actually leaving for in the next hour or two. But what I wanted to do today is do something a little different because technically I released the first interview and I wanted to release the second interview. And I didn't even notice it until Matt listened to it and said, hey, you didn't release that second interview we did. So as I sat here, I fretted. What do? Do I change the old upload so it has the new interview and make it like it didn't happen? And I decided, you know what we'll do? Let's release this second episode separately right now as almost a bonus episode for everyone who, downloads the podcast, who subscribes and gets these updates, because I won't be tweeting this out. This is going to be for those who subscribe. If you see it, maybe you'll like this. So basically what you're going to hear is this is the second take a day later of my interview with Matt, the non-gambling enthusiast. And personally, I like this interview a little bit better. We get more into trip reports from his 3 Vegas trips. We talk about his different likes and dislikes, different gambling things that have happened to him that caused him to become a non-casino enthusiast, where hopefully we could break that spell this weekend as we head out there. But I just wanted to throw it out there. We put some work into it, and hopefully you enjoy this. I guess it'd be a director's cut. I don't know what we call this of the interview, second take of the interview. So we had the original take. We did it live, very live feel. So you might even hear some of the same jokes again because I did, they worked the first time. I did them the second time. But I just didn't want this to get, thrown by the wayside because I really liked this interview we did with Matt, and he was a good sport to come back over and do it again. So hopefully you guys enjoy this, and if not, don't listen to it, I guess. And if you're listening to this and you haven't listened to the other one, maybe you want to check out the other one and hear what me and Robin had to talk about and stuff like that. So, and before we jump into the interview, just so happens I have a t-shirt store opening up, tpublic.com/store/makeluckhappen. There's a link, the little special link for the affiliate or whatever in the show notes, and I posted the link all over online already, so you've probably already seen it if you follow me. But I just want to throw that out there. They have a special 2-day sale. All the new shirts are only $13 a piece, so pretty cheap price actually. I'm about to stock up myself on the sale, so I got to go do that before we get out of here. But hopefully you enjoy this behind-the-scenes look at, what happens. Sometimes you do an interview. It was good. I felt like it was a 7 out of 10, but, I wanted to do a 10 out of 10 for you guys. And, of course, like a buffoon, I released the 7 out of 10. So here is my favorite version of the interview, even though Matt enjoyed the first one. So sit back, relax, and without further ado, I'd like to welcome on my buddy Matt, the non-casino enthusiast, with his first interview. All right. I am here live, and you're not going to believe this, in Make Luck Happen Studios with a guest in studio. We have a non-casino enthusiast, Matt, on the show. And Matt, me and you are going to Foxwoods for a beautiful, luxurious 2-night stay, and I'm going to try and win you over. So hopefully you're ready to give us a little pregame here. This is like the calm before the storm for us.
This is it. This is a big moment, man. ready to roll next week.
We're ready to roll. So first thing I want to
Literally.
do is I want to, pry into your casino background a little bit because
Ooh.
I've been working on Matt. So long story short, I've been working on Matt for years now. I don't know.
Years.
We must have met 5, 6, 7 years ago now,
Probably.
unbelievably. And I've been harassing this guy to come to the casino. It's been
Constantly.
this excuse. I got to run a marathon. I got to go to a
God,
brewery.
The list is never ending.
Yeah, no, you're just as good at me at creating excuses. And the one time I did get him to go to the casino for my cousin Vito's stag bash we had at the Fox Tower, I don't even think I saw you play. You didn't even play with me, Matt.
Now that I think of it, I think you're right. I think I just watched you play.
I think you
that
watched
was
me
That was
play.
entertaining in itself,
Well,
though. That was a good time.
Yeah, I had a blast that night myself. And so first thing I want to do, Matt, is I don't know a lot about your casino background because we have no background together other than the stag. So first thing I want to do is pry in a little bit. So you're not a casino enthusiast.
No.
Why, when I ask you, why do you reject going to the casino? Is it just the money? Or is it a combination of things, the time it takes?
Look, it's just one of those things where, I don't know all the rules to all the games. I don't want to sit there and just wait and try to learn them right off the rip. I kind of want some background going into those table games, if it's craps or roulette. Roulette's pretty easy, but
in general,
I'm saying, in general, I'm going there for, like what you said, a bachelor party or a concert or something like that. So I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time, sitting at these games that I've never played before and then, I got to go. You know?
I go, and as I'm learning, I'm losing money.
Exactly.
And then I got to go to my concert I paid for the ticket for, and now I'm like, I should have just spent it on beer at the concert.
Looks like I'm buying PBRs at the concerts,
Yes. Okay. So basically, part of it is it's not that you don't want to play. It's just that you know what, you haven't had the time or the interest to really learn all the rules. And even though maybe the games are simple, you don't want to sit down and be the guinea pig here,
right?
Or sit down at the table and have people be yelling at you or mocking you for some reason because you're making mistakes or what's this guy doing here?
My poker face isn't strong. They could tell right off the rip that.
What is this guy doing?
This guy has no idea what he's doing.
You don't take credit cards, sir. Okay, so I get that, and that's respectable because you know what? Even me, as a recreational casino player, I didn't always play all the different games I play. I started out a lot like you. When I first started going to the casino, my grandfather loved the casino. He loved roulette. And when we go to Atlantic City as kids, I would be able to sneak and, go to the edge of the casino and see him at the roulette table with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth and all that. So that is a great, I don't want to call it a gateway drug here, but it kind of is like a nice gateway game because it's very simple. You just pick your numbers. And the fun about roulette also is, if you put $1 on the inside here, you get paid 35 to 1. So it's one of those games where, in a blackjack, you put a $20, $25 bet down, you win $25 most of the time. Where roulette, you don't need a lot of knowledge, and you could put $1 down or $5 on the inside, and you can get $35, over $100. You could do the multiplication.
And typically those are the games I gear towards, like if I'm going to a concert or just going to the casino in general, because they're easy, they're quick. Like I know how to play those. Those are pretty simple.
In any game, you could lose your bankroll, but not many games you could sit and win. 35 times your bet on a number on the inside. Okay, so I like that. Now, not to look back at our history, Matt, but because you've rejected me so many times going to the casino, and I've tried all sorts of different tricks. I got you there for the stag. You got concerts going on. But now you like roulette. Do you go to the casino in your past? Like, did you have a time in your life where you went and had a big loss or something that's kind of made you say, you know what, I got to kind of pump the brakes on gambling here?
Well, I've been to Vegas 3 times. So I did the slots a few, like when I was there, just for fun.
So this is my own perverse line of questioning here. So 3 trips to Vegas.
3 trips.
Where did you stay? Just so I had my own curiosity.
So the first time was a big mistake. We stayed at the Excalibur.
Okay, mistake. So what was the problem with the Excalibur for?
Well, I think that was more geared towards family.
Or royalty or kings and queens.
Just like parents going with their kids. And
so you went to Vegas thinking I'm going to Sin City, and you were at the Excalibur, and you're like, this is kind of like a family resort here. I'm not really feeling this, Sin City vibe.
Not saying that it was a bad hotel. It was a beautiful hotel. It was just, at the time, I think I was like 22, 23 or something like that. And I'm there to party. I'm there to
Yeah,
have a
you-
good time.
you
and I'm
weren't
running
there to
around.
go
There's
on
like a
the merry-go-rounds.
5-year-old at like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm just like, well, I am way too drunk for
Yeah,
this.
was now I was
Yeah.
picturing, ladies in
yeah.
bikinis dancing behind the
Right.
poker table, not exactly,
Not
kids
with like
with lollipops.
McDonald's bags. And stuff.
All right, and gambling on the trip. So that's young, because I would go to the casino back then, but I wouldn't have considered myself a casino enthusiast at that
Right.
time. I was more of I got a couple bucks in my pocket. I guess this is my expendable fun here. We'll go to the casino without a real plan. So, did you have any on that? And I guess we'll just go trip by trip here. Did you have any bad experience or good experiences in that first trip that I should be aware of? Because after we talk about this, Matt, I'm going to unveil my itinerary I have, and it's going to kind of be shaped by your answers here because I want to show you a great time and show you why casino enthusiasm. It's an okay hobby if you can keep it under control.
One of the things I do regret not doing there is not playing craps. I remember my buddy would wake up at like 10 in the morning because they would have like craps lessons down at the tables. And so he didn't know how to play, but whenever we walked by or walked through the casino and there was people playing craps and it just looked like a lot of fun. And so he was like, you know what? I want to learn how to play that. And he learned how to play and well, he lost, but he still had a good time, but
okay. So you regret missing the craps lesson.
yeah.
Well, guess what, Matt? The professor is in the house right now, so we're going to make up for that this time.
Okay.
And so you didn't end up playing craps. I'm assuming you played roulette, maybe.
Yeah, I
put some
played
money in the
roulette,
slots.
played some slots, played some blackjack, but we had a lot of things planned, so we kind of just like fit in some games where we could.
Yeah, you were
and
on
at
a
22
wild boys trip to Vegas, and the gambling was more of buffer between these different wild events you were doing, things you were going to see. Now before we move on to the second trip, what did you do for fun? Any sort of good trips you went on there? You go down the Fremont Street? You go see any?
Fremont Street was awesome. Loved Fremont Street. What else did we do? I think we went to the Beatles Love Show.
Yes, all right.
That was a good time. Did the Grand Canyon, the Hoover Dam, all that stuff.
Oh, wow. So you're a very well-versed 27-year-old tourist. You did it all. What was it like?
We did a lot.
Bucket list trip there?
Yeah.
You went to the Grand Canyon?
I mean, we figured we were there, And
did you take the bus to the canyon or did you take the chopper?
No, we rented a car.
Oh, okay.
We were actually there. That was a long time. We were there for like a week.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And how was the canyon? Not that this is about the gambling, but how was the canyon ride? Did you feel like it was worth the time and effort it took you to get to the canyon, or did you get out there and you were like, all right, let's go. I saw it.
That's pretty much what we did.
Wow, this is a huge hole in the ground. All right, let's go.
Good. It's definitely a sight to see, though.
A sight to see. All right, so first trip. Stayed at Excalibur. Didn't get that real sexy Vegas vibe with all the kids with snots running out of their nose, flying around at 11 o'clock at night, and you regret mixing that craps lesson. Mm-hmm. So we had your second trip, Matt. How many years later was that?
I want to say 5.
Okay, so that's a good buffer zone. So you're in your late 20s now. You're heading out to Vegas. Where do you end up staying, and why the hell are you out there?
So we went out there for a bachelor party, and it just so happened that summer was like the summer of weddings. So everybody in our group of friends was getting married, and so we were just like, look, instead of doing like 4 separate bachelor parties,
one ripper,
let's just do one big one, and we'll all go out there, have a good time, and hang out when we can.
Okay, that sounds like a very mischievous crew there too. You're going out with about 20 guys. Yeah. So I'm curious to hear this. Where did 20 guys go and stay in Las Vegas?
We stayed all over the place. I stayed at the Stratosphere.
Ooh, so you're at the Strat. So you're at the north side of the Strip.
Down there, yeah.
So you had to take a taxi or rent a car to get pretty much anywhere from the Strat.
I think we took the monorail for the most part.
Okay, all right, not bad. So you avoided having, and who knows at this point if Uber was around when you were down there. So it might have been different.
No, I don't. If it was just starting
in
out.
its infancy, and it was just strangers picking you up.
Yeah, it was mostly we took mostly taxis.
And how did you actually the Strat's a place I've never stayed. Did you go up to the little bar on the top of the Strat? How was the top of this? It must be a sight to see.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was.
Was there the little?
They had the bungee jump.
Did you do any of that
Absolutely
stuff?
Not.
No, I didn't do that. So you don't want to do the zip line off the Foxwoods roof with me then?
I mean that I could.
Okay, well we'll see. We're gonna get into our itinerary. Yeah. Maybe we'll be jumping off the roof together.
Maybe we'll know. We'll see what happens.
All right, so you went down to the Strat. How did you play this trip though? And I'm assuming with 20 guys there. Would you go to a strip club? You have some wild times on the Strat. You have to get into the detail here in case your wife's listening. But
it was a good time. We had fun. We had some fun.
All right. So and did you do gambling on this trip?
Yeah, we did some blackjack. We did some slots. I watched my friends play roulette. We were around that table, and my one friend was hitting pretty big. I think he won like $700-800.
Okay, so how did that change your perception at all? Because you went your first trip, you didn't really have any big wins. Did you lose a lot on your first trip, or was it you just played? I bought a couple $100. I played it, and it was whatever.
Let's put it this way: I didn't go to gamble, so
okay.
It was there.
It was side.
It was on the side. Like, hey, I got some time to kill. Let's go play some blackjack for a little bit.
All right, and then this trip was obviously the bachelor trip, so you probably had other things you had to spend. Did you go back to the Hoover Dam or anything?
No, we did none of that. We barely made it out of Fremont Street or our hotel.
Okay, all right. Well, and those sometimes are the good trips.
Those are good times.
So you're a Fremont enthusiast. It sounds like.
Love Fremont Street. It's where all the weirdos are.
Yes, no, that's for sure, and it's filling right back up now. They're already actually they just took the masks off. The distancing's gone. So now, if we ever do go back to Vegas together, Matt, we could.
That could be another.
I love Fremont myself. I've had some ripping times down in Fremont.
I think they have a zip line there too, right?
Yeah, and that's not as exciting as jumping off the roof of Foxwoods, but it's a zip line nonetheless.
Yeah, that's true.
So. Really uneventful gambling on your second trip again. So you went out there, you went for the bachelor party. Did you have any good meals? That's another thing I didn't ask you.
Yeah, so
because that's part of the casino enthusiasts, mantra. You have the gambling, but you also kind of got to take in the sights and have those meals, reward yourself. And sometimes you try to use your comps and different coupons and different things to give you a different level of fine dining.
Right. I think so. We were at Fremont Street. And I think we were walking by the Golden Nugget, and there was a sign that said, best prime rib dinner for $10.99.
Okay.
And we were just like, no freaking way. Like
let's try it out.
Let's try it out. We didn't have a lot of time. We were just like, let's go.
so you wanted a quick bite, so you got a prime rib dinner?
Quick prime rib dinner.
Prime rib dinner here.
Yeah. So we went in there, and I swear to God, it was the best prime rib I've ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
Hands down. Too bad we don't have the name of the.
Yeah,
I mean, it was years ago now, so it could have changed hands.
Remember.
But all right, so you did it. But now, did you feel like you were at a fine dining establishment? Did you feel like I'm at, this is like just a nice prime rib place here?
No, it was kind of like it had a diner feel to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
but.
You had a nice $10.99. And unfortunately, I don't.
It was a trap. It was a trap.
It was a tourist trap.
It was delicious. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, well, $10.99
really
is a fair price for a prime rib dinner, though. So
right,
you didn't feel ripped off. You felt satisfied.
Yeah, I felt pretty good.
All right, and so on this trip, you did have you watched somebody have a big roulette win. Did you have any eventful wins or losses or anything?
Nope.
One of the you didn't even actually reach into the brain there.
I think my buddy told me, he's like, "Yo, Matt, there's a $20 slot over there. Like, why don't you do it?" I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I put $20 in, and I lost immediately.
Okay. Oh, a $20 spin. Oh, well.
It's a $20 spin, yeah.
You want to do that when we go? No, we're good. We'll see if we get ahead. Maybe we'll do some high limits.
Maybe after a few cocktails, who knows?
Yeah, you got to bet $1 million and win $1 million.
That's right.
So we got to work on that.
Can't win if you don't.
All right, so you went and you played. You had, first trip, you had so-so results. You played a little bit. It was a secondary thing. Second trip, you're going for this wild bachelor party, so I'm sure you were saving your singles for other stuff. And you went and you played a tiny bit. So we have one more trip, Matt. So you went out to Vegas. We stayed at Excalibur. You stayed at the Strat. I'm curious where you stay on this third one.
The Luxor.
The Luxor. Okay, so you really did the tour de force here. You were really far north.
Yeah.
You were at the Excalibur. Then you're at the Luxor.
Yeah.
How did you enjoy the Luxor? And what was this trip for?
This trip was for a concert. Leon Bridges was playing at the Palms.
Leon Bridges at the Palms.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a really
So you
good
flew
show.
out to Vegas for the Leon Bridges show.
Well, that and my wife had never been to Vegas.
Oh, so okay. So first trip was like kind of a guy's fun friend trip. Second trip was the guy's balls to the wall bachelor party trip.
Well, no, first trip was like, it was like 10 of us.
Just a fun, we're going to go to Vegas.
Not all guys. It was,
Okay, so first trip was the couples mingling.
Yeah.
Well, let's go enjoy Vegas together. We're going to have some meals, have a good time. Friends trip.
Sure.
Second trip was swinging from the chandelier, bachelor party trip. And third trip, so you're on the couples trip now.
No, it was just my wife and I and two of our friends that we met out from Utah.
Well, were they a couple?
No.
Okay, all right.
It's two dudes.
Two dudes. All right. So. All
Not
right.
no,
Well, did you share the room at the Luxor together?
With my wife, yes.
Well, I'm saying with the two dudes.
No, they got the.
All right, so it's like a couple strip. You hung out with these
whatever,
guys,
yeah.
but you guys are in the room together.
Yeah.
It's not like you guys were sleeping,
no,
too deep
toe
in
to
the
toe,
queen
yeah,
beds
no,
here.
it's not happening.
So you stayed at the Luxor. Did you do any gambling with your wife? Because actually, long story short, Matt's wife was here last night, and normally the wives are like, "Oh, don't go to the casino. I can't believe you're going to go there." When I talked to your wife last night, she was like, "Can you please make him enjoy the casino a little bit more? Because he never wants to go, and I would love to go play."
Look, I told her right off the bat. I said, "Look, I'm the worst person to go to the casino with if you want to gamble. That it's just I don't have fun doing it
now.
Yeah.
I'm getting nervous here, Matt.
Well, no, we're going for a purpose. So I never actually go to the casino just to gamble. Like I said, it's always
okay. True.
I'm always going for a concert
or bachelor party,
party where gambling isn't the main event.
Yeah, that's like a side dish on the meal.
Right.
On the $10 prime rib. That's like the scoop of potatoes on the side. Or maybe even the green beans that you're like, I just will eat them.
And so we had a lot of time to kill, and she wanted to gamble, and I was like, yeah, sure, we'll go gamble.
Okay.
And then I was at the table, I was watching her and stuff, but
what was she
I wasn't ripping her away from the tables or anything like that.
This is unbelievable.
This is ridiculous. How dare you?
We're in a total stick in the mud. Now, what did she play?
No.
What'd you stand behind her?
What'd she play?
Blackjack?
She played roulette. She really liked roulette.
Oh, we got the roulette family here.
What else did she play? I think it was the Deal or No Deal that was on there.
She
really she likes
all right,
slots.
so she was playing some slots, but this is all normal stuff. You go games that are easy to play, you got good return on your bet. I mean, it's still House Edge is very big on all those games, but you can't really avoid that if you're going for a good time. You don't think about that.
No. Yeah, exactly.
All right, so those are your 3 Vegas trips. Now, did you do any gambling, or did you just sit behind and live vicariously through your wife?
I did a little gambling, nothing crazy.
Very
minimal. Very minimal.
So we're talking on these 3 trips. What was your typical gambling bankroll for the trip? Did you even since
no,
it wasn't,
I didn't even budget for that because I knew I wasn't going to do it.
Oh, jeez. Okay, we got a long way to go here then. All right, so that takes us pretty much to today because the other casino trip I remember is my bachelor party trip, and I know that you didn't gamble then. You did get the room. You did come to the party. You had some cocktails. I saw you running around on the casino floor, but I didn't really get to see what else you did. Did you do anything eventful at my bachelor party?
The noodle trip.
The noodle. Okay, all right.
The stroll to the noodle trip.
The stroll to the noodle. So remember that because that's a
that.
microcosm of the casino. So did you enjoy our late night stroll to the noodle?
It was worth it.
Okay.
At first, I was like, "What the hell's going on? Why are we walking all the way
to the noodle place on the other side of the casino?" Exactly. And we did have some fun. I believe that was the Gronkowski at the Shrine night.
That was. We walked by Rob.
We got to see Rob Gronkowski, and then he dropped 5 or 6 figures at the club, and there was some sort of news story.
Yeah, he dropped $100,000.
It was something ridiculous,
something crazy.
Yeah, the cousin Vito birthday, the cousin Vito bachelor bash. He was there, so you got a little bit of that,
that celebrity sighting. Yeah,
you got to see Gronk. You got some late night noodles. You didn't really play though.
No, to be fair, I don't think you really played either though.
Oh, I played.
Where was I?
You were probably, I don't know what you were doing. What could you have been doing at the shops? I don't know.
I don't
Eating a prime rib somewhere right now? I'm sure I played.
Maybe.
I had to play.
You must have. I just can't remember.
Yeah, no, because but I was trying to be responsible because we did the raffles and stuff. And I didn't want to
that's true.
For the 50-50 money and lose it all. So
I think I was with my other friend too, Tyler. That he's not a big casino guy
he's
either.
Not a casino. So. Yeah, I suddenly inherited all these friends from my wife, and none of them are casino guys. It's really killing me. But we're seeing. I'm trying to turn you into an enthusiast. That's the point of this conversation here.
It's true.
All right. So now, are there any other sort of casino or gambling, snafus or things that's happened to you in your life that may have, pushed you away from gambling, or it's just that you really weren't, exposed to it at all?
I just really wasn't exposed to it.
Okay, and that makes sense because, a lot of people grow up around this. And for me, I'm probably a casino enthusiast because I grew up around. My grandfather loved, the casino, Atlantic City. Other members of my family, they like sports betting growing up. There was always, basically, even when I was in high school, I remember looking at the lines in the paper just for the fun of it. It was one of those things where maybe it is like, something that's you get. It's I don't want to say anything terrible about myself, but it's something that if you're exposed to it when you're younger, you can handle it better and you enjoy it more.
Right. I think another thing that might have set me off was whenever my friends would get together and play poker.
Oh.
And they'd always, come on, man, you got to play poker. Come on, play. Okay. So, it's a buy-in. This is how much it is. Like, come and play. And then I think I went once. And I was done in like 5 minutes, and then a trend started,
and you were
clicking, and I was like, I know why these jerks are inviting me to play poker.
I'm the goodwill donation.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can't spot the sucker at the table in the first 5 minutes, Matt, that usually means you're the sucker. That's the old saying. Which scares me because I'm usually like, I don't see any suckers there. So, but don't worry, I don't think we're going to force you to play any sort of poker. If we play poker, it won't be a type of poker where everyone at the table trying to take your money.
Right.
Because we want to play those games where you feel comfortable, you feel fun, and you're kind of rooting with everyone at the table. Because that's kind of the fun of going and sitting at the table, is there is a little bit of camaraderie once you have the rules down, you know what's going on. That's where I have most of my fun. Like you were talking about slapping five at the craps table.
Yeah,
and most games, if you're sociable, sometimes you're with people who have a little too much tunnel vision on their gambling, which is something you don't want to do, because if you have tunnel vision at the roulette table, the house has the edge no matter what you do. So you're fooling yourself if you really think you're going to have some sort of you're outsmarting the roulette wheel.
Right.
So let's get into our trip. So I know your trials and tribulations here.
Yeah,
so as we're heading up, what are some things that you want me to make sure we do, or some things that you're like, you know what, if we do this, the trip's going in the right direction for me? And I actually got my little notepad here. I'm going to write these down, Matt, because I want to I'm customizing this trip. Too bad there isn't a job like this I could do where I just customize people's gambling trips, because I love doing this.
This might be the start.
All right, so we mentioned earlier, you want to play some craps.
I want to play craps.
You want to learn how to play craps.
Exactly.
Now, you haven't played at all.
I've never played.
So you've never touched those beautiful dice. You never flung the dice down the table.
Nothing.
All right, so that's an easy one. We want, Matt, we're going to definitely get some craps in.
Perfect.
And we're going to make sure that, we'll do some review. We'll once we get into the the order of our itinerary, maybe the first night when we go up or on the way up there, we talk about how the game works a little more, go over some game mechanics. It's pretty simple, craps. It looks very complicated, and it can be complicated if you want to get crazy with your bets. But for the most part, there's only going to be a couple bets we're going to learn. You're going to know how to make them. And in the situation we're in with COVID, you could play side by side with me, or once we start discussing bankroll, we could also do where we play certain games together to minimize both our losses for a 2-night trip. So, so we want to play craps. Are there any other things you definitely do want to do or definitely don't want to do?
I definitely do want to play roulette. I do enjoy roulette.
Okay,
roulette is fun.
Let me make a little note of that here. Get the little clickety-clack. All right, so we want to get some craps in, and we want to get some roulette in. And I enjoy roulette. That got me into the casino, and my only caveat is I got to be next to the wheel. I'm a wheel guy.
That's fine.
If you want to play, you can play whatever you want. I got to play. I got to see that wheel.
That's fine with me.
See the dealer for my own superstitions.
Yep.
All right, so craps, roulette, it doesn't have to just be what games you want to play. Are there any sort of things dining-wise, or we talked about jumping off the roof of the tower on the zip line? Are there any things
You know what I'm going to say?
Oh,
you know what we've been talking about for years?
What's that?
The Caesar salad, man.
The
Caesar salad that you've been talking about.
The tableside Caesar at Burke.
Sends me pictures. We got to get the Caesar salad.
Yes.
We got to go to the casino.
The longtime listeners of the show know my infatuation with the Dave Burke Caesar salad, the tableside Caesar. Now, Matt, I have a bit of bad news, actually. I'm going to go to the website just to make sure. Dave Burke, last time I was there with my lovely wife, Amanda, who I also have hooked on the casino, who also went through this. And they actually, last I checked, Matt, the tableside Caesar is no more due to COVID, I'm assuming. Because what are you going to do? Have somebody in a mask hanging over the table, grinding all the pepper, folding everything in. So right now I'm looking, soups and salads. They have the tradition. They do have a traditional Caesar, but it does not it does not say tableside at the moment. So we might, you could get the Caesar, but we might not have a tableside. So I have to, sorry to disappoint you, but we are not back to normal just yet.
We're not there yet, but we'll get there.
All right. So, but you do want to fight. How about this? I can't get you tableside Caesar, but how about, in my opinion, right now, out of all the restaurants open at Foxwoods, obviously they have a Caputo, a nice Italian restaurant, but to me, Dave Burke Prime is probably right now the quintessential restaurant at Foxwoods for you. I mean, we could even go sit at the bar. You could have a nice steak. Their burgers are great.
Okay.
Have a nice cocktail down there.
Yep.
So I believe I already wrote that down. Yeah, I'm going to put a little star next to it because I do think one nice meal is good, and we don't have to go, spend $200 a head down there.
No.
We could go down there, get a couple nice apps. Did you like seafood?
I love seafood.
Oh, hang on
Love
second here,
seafood.
Matt. Not that I wanted to get into this, though, but we could, if you want to, go down for a nice cocktail and split a petite seafood tower, lobster, little neck clams, oysters. It's $65, but it's for two of us, so that's a way we can, we could go down. You don't have to spend, $200 a head. We could go get split an appetizer or something like that.
Now, are we talking Thursday night or Friday night?
We're gonna play it by ear because that's part of
the Friday night is special guest appearance, right?
Yes, Friday night there is a good possibility. Cousin Mikey's coming up. We had an extra room booked, so Cousin Mikey's going to be coming up. He has work the next day, so he's a real enthusiast. Matt. He's coming up, and he's going to have dinner with us, play a little bit, probably go to bed like 11 o'clock. Which who knows how our day goes? We might be depending on the time we wake up Friday morning, go to bed Thursday night. 11 might sound good.
All right,
and our buddy James is supposed to come up too. I believe might stop in.
Yeah, I got to talk to him again.
He's very close. 10 minutes from the casino.
He's your kind of guy.
Yeah. Well, he likes the poker.
He loves poker.
But the problem is we can't play poker because you know what's going to happen. We might be at the same table. Because obviously they don't want. Oh, let's go. They don't want you all two guys who can cheat with each other next to each other. Right. It's all randomized. They're not going to put you next to me. So it's like I'm basically going to send you out into the water with sharks, Matt, trying to eat your bankroll on you. So
it'll be like inviting me over on Saturday night playing poker all over again.
And I haven't done that.
And that's not what we want.
I want to say
not what we want.
I am one person who is not guilty of that.
That's true. Because you know me.
So let's start. We'll start going in order here. We got a couple things you want to do here, and probably the most important thing we need to know, which you didn't have information about this from your other trips because you really weren't, planning a casino enthusiast trip. What is your gambling bankroll for the trip? Now, we have 2 nights, so realistically, we should have a certain amount per day that you kind of want to, stay roughly around, especially if we hit a cold streak and we lose.
I think we talked the other day, and I want to keep, like, food and drink and all that separate.
Yes.
That doesn't count towards gambling. So
this is just gambling funds, and we're going to get into it. I have a couple little wheeling and dealing things we're going to do here because I also want to minimize our casino spend when it comes to the food. Obviously, we want a nice meal. We want to eat.
That doesn't, whatever.
We don't want to, have, I go with Amanda. We'll have a $200 tab at Dave Burke because we're, this lovely couple where it's like we don't really need.
Cart, you're getting mashed potatoes.
We could be full. I could be full much cheaper than how I go sometimes. So all right, so gambling is separate than our recreation, funny money for food or coffees or whatever.
Exactly.
So what do you, and it's all about what your comfort level is, because that's the other thing. I don't want you going there, biting your nails, calling your wife saying we can't pay the rent this month, anything like that. Can we get cans to return to the supermarket to make up for this? Yeah. Where are you at in your comfort zone of your bankroll for the 2-day trip?
Thinking a night, maybe like $250, $300.
That's fair. All right. So we'll start with a round number. We'll do a $500 for 2 nights, which we're getting there late Thursday. So ideally, we're not going to lose $250 a piece Thursday night. Ideally. Which I'm hoping it won't, because we're going to try and start slow here. Could if we wanted to lose $250, could I take us to a craps table and we lose that in 10 minutes? Yeah. I could pull it off for you. Yeah, that's our goal. We could pull it off. But we're trying to cling on, because part of maybe turning you into enthusiast is that you come home with close to the same amount of money you had in your pocket. Or more. Or more. Let's set the bar pretty high here for us. But or more. So we're going to say Thursday night. We're both working Thursday. This is like a 2-night guys trip. We're working Thursday. We both have the Friday off. So we're hopping in the car after work, going to the Pequot. Guess what? Valet's open, baby. So we're going to valet it up. We're going to have our bags packed. Now, I don't think we really need anything too bougie clothing-wise, because I don't, it's not like we're going to be going and dancing or anything. We're not going to Shrine. So we're gonna bring. We're on a comfort trip. We're gonna bring comfortable clothes. Nothing, I might not even bring my suede smoking jacket for this one. You will or you won't? I don't think I will, because we're in a non-smoking room. But I got to check and see where we could smoke cigar if we want to smoke a cigar. I think that should be in the itinerary. Well, I'll have to look that up, because that's another one that's changed greatly with the COVID, where before you'd smoke the cigar at the table and everyone hate you because you have a smelly cigar. Where now, what are we going to do? Go sit in like an alcove somewhere?
parking lot.
And like off the cigar quick so we can go back and play. All right, so I'll look into the cigar. I know Mohegan has a little cigar room, but I'll look into Foxwood cigars here. All right, so Thursday night, go up. Valet, go to the room. Here's my plan, Matt. I want to do some pre-gambling, pre-go-down cocktails in the room. Enjoy the Pequot room. They're newly renovated the past several years. Nice amount of floor space. We're each going to have our own queen bed. We can unpack our little doodads, plug in our chargers, get ready to go. What would be your ideal, so we don't go overboard in the room? I think we should maybe split one nice bottle of something that we could drink that night, and then we can make, drinks for the next night. Because we shouldn't need that much. We couldn't need more alcohol, but we shouldn't need that much.
So when you say bottle, what type of bottle are you talking here? Are we talking like a liter? Are we talking
I'm thinking like a 750 milliliter, a regular bottle, like a normal bottle of scotch or a normal bottle of whiskey. Yeah. Now, I had a couple things. I was at the store the other day, and for some reason, I was looking at the Jameson. And I said, maybe me and Matt will have
You've been harping on the Jameson.
The Jameson on the
rocks. You've really been going for the Jameson.
Well, because it's nice to be, because let's say you were like, we'll bring up a Miller Lite. We're gonna be at the table. Who's got to go pee? Who's holding it in?
That's fair.
Where are all the cans going? By the end of the second night, our room's gonna be like a recycling center.
I've got a bottle of Maker's Mark.
Okay,
unopened.
Look at this. All right. Well, how about this? Maker's Mark room, and I'll bring the ice from the ice machine for us. I'll donate the ice. I'll show you where the machine is, Matt. All right. So we have a making of a great start to the trip here.
Yep.
We get up, valet in the room. Unpack.
How long are we in the room for?
I would say probably, half hour, you'd think, because we go up,
you
get all your stuff situated.
We don't want to spend too much time in there.
No, I'm not saying we're going to watch, rent a movie on the TV or anything. I'm just saying we go up there, and we'll probably be hungry. We haven't had dinner yet, so we're going to want to go, on the prowl.
Yeah.
So we have our cocktail, get dolled up, do what we got to do. We head down to the floor. And this is something that we talked about your trips, Matt, and it seems like you did this, but you didn't realize what you were doing. Have you ever heard of the casino stroll?
No, this is new to me.
Groundbreaking stuff here. The casino stroll. Now, this is a tactic I use. Special forces tactic here, Matt. You do this when you go and there's, the tables are full. The limits are too high. You do this. Oh, I just bought in. I lost pretty quick. Let me go for my casino stroll. Oh, I just bought in. I doubled up, but you know what? I would rather keep these winnings now because I got something to do later.
Okay. And
you take a walk. The casino stroll, it's a way to, you're taking in the casino. There's sights and sounds to be seen. There's people, we're going to see all sorts of people. Like I said in another episode, I went up with my wife to Foxwoods. It was during COVID times. We got the mask. We're wiping everything down. Matt, there's people going by in wheelchairs, oxygen. They got all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of different types of people and characters that are going to be at the casino for us on a Thursday and Friday night. So part of the casino stroll is a little people watching too.
Oh, not Fremont Street people though.
Well, we're not going to get out that much fun. Caliber. We're not getting that caliber of people watching.
That sounds good. I like that.
So we
take a few breaks in between.
Leave the room, hit the floor. We'll see the table. We don't know what the table limits are going to be. We'll check out the craps table, and if it's wide open and we could sit down, maybe we put $100 down. Maybe we split 50 apiece and buy in just as one spot and say, all right, Matt, you watch the game mechanics happen here, and I'll tell you what's going on. So then when you do buy in, maybe the next morning, you have the confidence of, okay, I'm ready. Because and we'll see how crowded it is. That'll be a big difference because you don't want to be the one.
Might be pretty crowded.
Friday night will be wild.
Is it the 19th is where everything kind of opens up, right?
Well, we'll see. I haven't really looked into what Fox's is doing.
Thursday night. That's right. Okay.
Thursday hopefully will be good. Friday morning should be good. Now, Friday night, I stayed there on a Friday night recently, and it was pretty wild on the floor, but we could always go into the high limit, play some pie gow. I'll find out. There are different nooks and crannies I could find us for peaceful gambling. What do you got? Something going on behind you, man?
I heard some thunder.
He's getting a little nervous here. So here is another twist I have for us because I don't want us to spend a lot of money on food and beverage. I want us to get some nice cocktails and stuff, but I have lounge access for us for this trip.
Oh.
So 2 times a day, I could bring one person with me to the lounge on the Pequot, off the Pequot floor, like kind of on the old ballroom there.
All right.
So we can go down. We have our drinks in the room. I say, and this is with your approval, I know we want a bougie dinner, but I think we should go down and take advantage of one of these perks that the casino gives out. That's part of why the casino can be fun for a recreational player. And we go, hey, Let's go get, whatever cocktail you want. Get a gin and tonic. Go get a gin and tonic there. We'll see the food spread. Maybe there's a couple things we can nibble on.
Yeah.
So then if we do go out, and when we do go out for dinner, maybe we aren't saying, oh, my God, we got to get a nap. You know me. Every time we order takeout, I'm the worst guy. Everyone hates me because I'm like, we need another wrap. What about the mozzarella sticks? Well, let's get the dip. What do you mean? Well, let's upcharge the fries. Let's get the Parmesan fries.
You'd buy everything on the menu if you could.
Yeah, no, I'm a terrible influence when people want to hang out and get takeout because I'm like, let there be food.
You like this?
Feast. Every supper's the last supper is how I order it for us. So right now we've spent nothing so far. We go in, get our room, come down, casino stroll, check out the conditions. Maybe we each put $20 in a slot machine together.
Yep.
See if we could double it up and win $20. Actually, I also have $25 slot play that day.
Oh.
So that's one thing I think we should do first. It expires, I believe, at midnight. It could have expired the next morning, but we go. I'll put my $25. We'll find a machine we like.
Yeah.
Each put in 20, then I'll put my 25 in, and we'll play through the free play. See if we can make a little money. Go up a little bit before we have our cocktail. All right. So we have our cocktails. And then, that's really all you need for the first night is we'll go.
Yeah,
maybe we play if the tables are open, but we're trying to. I would love if we've only lost 100 or 200 apiece. I don't want us to go through half our bankroll because we got a big day the next day.
Big day the next day.
So this is going to be a lot about bankroll management, which is part of, I don't want to say successful recreational gambler, but a happy recreational gambler is that bankroll management, because there's nothing worse, Matt, when I've done this where you go for the 2-day trip or you go out to Vegas for 4 or 5 nights and you'll lose most of your bankroll on the first or second day, and now you're like,
I've been
what
with
am
friends
I doing?
Have done that.
Let me go have some hot dogs. I'll go have a coffee. So we go to bed that night. Ideally, we're even. Maybe we're down a couple hundred apiece. And depending how far we're down, I have some different pivots we could do at Foxwoods right now. I checked and saw what was open. So I have 2 things that are not table games, not slot machines, that are a little out of the ordinary that we could play. And one of them would be bingo.
Ooh.
Now, I know maybe you're thinking, what are we going to
fold
go
out
up
tables,
in a walker? What am I going to do?
Plastic
No,
tablecloths.
The Foxwoods bingo is fun and fast-paced and very cheap comparatively. So things starts at 10:30. I believe they run about 3 hours. So it's a time. It depends how our bankroll is because it's time-consuming. If we say, you know what, this would be good to spend $50 or whatever, go to the bingo, spend a few hours, then we'll go get lunch somewhere. That's a possibility.
Okay.
And then my other one, which is another one that, it's another cheap thing that takes a little time, would be we could explore the race book.
Ooh.
There are some ponies going off at around the 11:30 noon, and there's another set, 3, 4 o'clock. I had the, do I still have I had the, what's it called up? I took it down for now. I had the race schedule up because I was doing some research for us. Yeah. So we can pivot those 2. Those are 2 things that I don't always do, but there are trips where I say, you know what? Let's go to the race book.
Ponies are fun.
See the pony. And I know you go to Saratoga, so you have a little bit of a background with the ponies. I'm assuming you've never hit it big because you're not.
I think we won $60 once.
$60. Well, you know what? That might be your biggest win ever because I don't have any tips for the ponies here at all.
No.
Now, Saratoga, you go every year, or is that just,
we try to go every year. Last year, we just kind of went to my sister-in-law's backyard because they weren't letting fans in, but they were still having the races, so we just watched it on TV and put bets in on our phones. And
all right. So a remote Saratoga.
Pony watching.
Well, you know what? It'll be similar at Foxwoods. Last time I went to the race book, it was like a library where it was like a bunch of guys with gray hair with newspapers while they were sleeping there. And I'm assuming, I'm interested to see because before people were smoking cigars in there, so I'm curious to see what it's like now with no smoking.
I think we went down there for your bachelor party. Now that I'm thinking about it, and we left immediately because it was just so quiet in there.
Yeah,
and
if we jump up and slap 5, we'll startle people who are trying to sleep. It's like
I'm reading.
Station.
Please stop.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Shush. That's what. So we do have we can pivot to that now.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm talking about this lounge access.
Yep.
We can go to the lounge in the morning. We can go get a little eggs. It opens at 9 a.m. I actually talked to the host, so it's open till 11 p.m. on Thursday, and it opens 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. on Friday. So we could stagger it. We could go late Friday, but again, we're gonna have guests with us. Yeah. So I can only get one of us in. So I gotta we gotta go alone. We gotta either do before they get there, after they go to bed.
Gotcha.
So don't tell Mikey we were going to the lounge.
Secret's kept.
So we also have that, and one thing I would like to do now that I love to do at the casino is the morning casino stroll. So we wake up.
There's
finish-
different levels of strolling.
There's different level of stroll because the morning stroll, maybe we go down to Starbucks, we get some refresher drinks, get some coffee. Maybe you make an Irish coffee. Maybe we make ourselves some mimosas.
Oh.
You know, I got a bottle of champagne
Okay.
already for us, Matt, for our trip.
This is getting eerily romantic.
It's going to be a romantic.
This is getting very
I'm gonna
romantic.
win
I
you
like
over,
it.
baby.
I like it. Yeah.
So we should. I am planning on mimosas Friday morning, barring some sort of alcohol poisoning. So that's another fun stroll because the table limits are usually the lowest in the morning.
Yep.
The tables are usually empty in the morning, and the slots are open. So we can really, the world is our oyster, really for a recreational bounce around, not crowded. That Friday morning is going to be optimal time, probably from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock is probably an optimal casino stroll. That'd be a perfect time for you to, if you want to play craps, we could get on a craps table, hopefully. Limit will be $5 or $10. There won't be a lot of people around.
Yeah, then maybe we can, learn a little bit in the morning and then nighttime go when it's
and
bumping.
then you have a wild time.
Right, yeah.
And that's the other fun thing is since we're on a Friday night, you could always do late night because it gets crowded. It gets crowded in the prime time hours.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of we're not
8
that
o'clock.
old, but it's the kids. The kids are out on Friday night.
Yeah.
So we have that morning casino stroll. And here's another game that we could play if things go south, or if we want to go get a breakfast somewhere. We could play a little bit of keno, Matt.
Okay.
I've
never played keno.
Basically,
that's another one I want to play.
It's a terrible bet, and I shouldn't even introduce you to it because it's a horrible. This isn't about shark in the casino. This is about having a good time here. So we could play a little bit of keno. Do a 5-6 spot ticket, 4 spot ticket, maybe.
Ooh.
Go sit, watch it on our phone. Go into the lounge, get some scrambies. Have a little bit of maybe have a Bloody Mary, and
now you're
we could do
eggs,
some keno.
Eggs Benny, maybe.
So. Really, now we're saying we've kind of gone over. We want to play craps. We're definitely going to get you some roulette, whether it's Thursday night. We could rush to play it, or if the roulette table is crowded, it usually is. We could always say, we'll save roulette for Friday and save that bankroll for Friday.
Right.
We got some tag team slot play. We're going to use my $25 free play to hopefully capitalize on that. Mm-hmm. Another thing I have is I have $70 in rewards dollars on my card right now. So theoretically, Matt, we can go to Dave Burke. That seafood tower could be on me.
Wow.
Because I'm planning on using that. I want you to have a good time, and that's part of it is that we're going to probably be playing together on some of the machines, and we're going to be playing together. So I'm going to be accumulating points with your money, basically.
I'm intrigued on this tower, though.
The seafood
tower.
Yeah,
I know you're talking gambling. The only thing I took out of that was the seafood tower.
We could do the petite. Serves 2 to 3, so that will probably just serve me.
Yeah.
But lobster, little neck, oysters, jumbo shrimp, Alaskan king crab legs, tuna tartare, and a scallop ceviche.
Wow.
Or, if you're really hungry. Or if we go down with Mike and James, we could do the grand. It's $135, so it's a little bit more expensive than the petite. Serves 4 to 6, but you get the poached lobster thrown in there.
Ooh.
Little neck, oysters, jumbo shrimp, chilled mussels, Alaskan king crab legs, tuna tartare, and a scallop ceviche. So we get a giant tower. And it's a beauty. I have had the petite, and I loved it. So get your whistle here a little bit.
Sounds good.
All right, so we're on a roll, and the only other we have a couple other options here, Matt.
What do we got?
There is Chinese. There is the Golden Dragon.
I feel like we do have to hit the noodle spot.
The noodle spot. I have to see the hours. Last time I was there, it was not open yet, but they're starting to reopen down there. So hopefully, they got to reopen it. It was like a prime time spot there, but. Now that the restrictions are coming down, I'm sure it's going to reopen because there wasn't like the sign was torn down when I went there. So I think the Stony Creek Brewery's out of there. All the signs were down; it was gone.
Yeah,
but Noodle's still the sign. So hopefully they're reopening. And there is the Golden Dragon. You ever have a Hong Kong style wonton soup?
Oh,
you like wonton soup?
I do like wonton soup.
The Hong Kong style. You got a little bok choy in there. You got some other stuff. So it's a filling but a light meal we could do where we could say, all right, maybe instead of doing whatever. In the afternoon, we say, let's get a Hong Kong style wonton. Sit around, relax, nice, easy lunch.
Right.
And another place I would like to maybe just have a beer. This is something that I like doing on my own. The Guy Fieri's has his bar there on the Pequot floor. Oh. So you could sit at the bar and overlook the floor. The negative is they don't take my rewards dollars point for point. I think it's like $125 per point. It's something where we're not going to pay rewards dollars there.
Got it.
But one thing we could do if you say, you know what? We want to go spend $40-$50. We could go down there, get the trash can nachos. You ever see the trash can nachos?
Oh, yeah.
Get the trash can or a garbage can, whatever the hell they are. Get the can, get the nachos. Get a couple of IPAs, sit there, Take it in. This could also be a
Take it
lunch thing. Watch the casino floor, everyone playing, get hyped up. That's when and this is sounding sympathetic. Sometimes when I'm going alone to the casino, I'll go sit there, get a little sandwich, get my IPA, and I'll sit there and eat, play on my phone, and watch the casino floor. Get the ambiance, you know.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do.
I like the ambiance. Yeah.
All right. So we went over a lot of stuff here. Bingo, racebook, roulette slots. Craps. I'm not gonna bring you to play poker because you don't like poker.
That's fine.
I'm not gonna bring you to any complex games. We want to play games that we could probably play together or at least play, near each other. Where it's like I'm not gonna bring you to the 3-card poker table.
We got blackjack on there.
We do not have blackjack on there. We could play blackjack if you'd like.
I like me some blackjack.
Now the one thing I am gonna warn you about the blackjack is I feel like if you do want to play, we should look into basic strategy.
Okay.
Because with, we're not going to have perfect strategy by just looking into the basic strategy.
Right.
But you're going to want to know what to split, what to double down on, when to hit, when not to hit. So, for instance, I'm going to give you a quick quiz here.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
You have 15. You got a 10 and a 5, right?
Yep.
And the dealer has a 6 showing.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do?
Play it safe.
What would that be?
Are
you going to hit or stand would be
I'm going to stand.
You're going to stand. Okay. You did that right now. Well, why did you stand? Out of fear?
Yeah,
out of
probably.
busting fear?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we're going to have to review it. But basically, the way you're looking at it is there's more 10s in the deck than any other card. And this is a real dumbed-down way to talk about it. But there's more 10s in the deck than any other card. So you're saying odds are the dealer has a 10 showing under the 16, and the dealer has to hit on the 16.
Right.
So you're hoping that when you don't hit on your 15, because odds are most likely a 10 piece would be coming out, or a face card. You're hoping that face card gets delivered to that dealer.
That's exactly what I'm hoping for.
Yes, so
sure.
that is what you want to happen, but you just didn't realize how you were getting there.
Yeah,
you knew.
I know I want to be the dealer, and I knew I had it in me, but I just didn't know.
So we'll look at some blackjack now. There are some. We'd have to check the rules because I know at the Fox Tower side they have like dollar blackjack or cheap blackjack, but usually that means the rules aren't in your favor. There's something where the deal, maybe blackjack plays 6 to 5 instead of 3 to 2. There's so many different rules. What the dealer hits on, there's different things that could change the mathematical outcome for us. So we got to look at the rules, and just because we see the dollar table, which might be fun for you.
Yeah, maybe.
But money wise, even though we're going to play roulette and play a bunch of games that aren't in our favor.
Let's put it this way: blackjack, not a priority.
Low
priority.
That's if we're up. We're having
not a priority,
time.
right? Yeah.
And the only other thing I'm going to try to introduce you to is the Pai Gow Poker, one of my favorite games.
Okay.
Now, the caveat is generally the limit's going to be 25 a hand at Foxwoods.
All right.
So pretty steep for our bankroll.
Yep.
But, and there is a but here, very slow pace. So if we find ourselves and let's say we're up a little bit, or let's say it's Thursday afternoon, we've lost maybe $100 to a piece, and we say, let's go to the Pai Gow. We'll each buy him with a couple $100. Sit, get a nice high limit cocktail, get a Macallan or something, nice scotch, get a Fiji water. We get a little cappuccino. So, and we sit there, and it's usually less crowded. And depending on where our hotel room is, there's a little back elevator that we can come out in the high limit lounge, like real bougie guys, and go right to our table. So I might peer pressure you into a 25 limit Pai Gow table if our bankrolls could sustain that.
I agree with that. That's fine with me.
All right, Matt. So we're doing pretty good here.
Yeah, we've got a nice
list
set up.
I think we've run through the trip for the most part. Now, my final question for you is there anything we're missing? What are your hopes and dreams? And do you think, what are the percentage that I could turn you into a casino enthusiast here?
Ooh, wow. I'm going to say you've got about a 40% chance.
40%.
Now, are we saying an enthusiast like I'm going every weekend?
No, I'm saying an enthusiast where I say, hey, we got a babysitter for little Sonny boy. Me and Amanda are getting a 2-queen room on a Friday night. Do you and your wife want to come up with us? And now you probably say, no, we're good. We're going to go sit on the couch and watch, some movie about the Normandy invasion or something. What are the chances that you're going to say, oh, my God, that'll be great, honey. Let's pack our bags. I can't believe it.
Pretty high.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. So that's where we're going to go.
I just need to learn how to play some games.
That's it.
That's where
we're going to teach you the games. And we got like an hour ride to the casino, so we could go over some stuff there, talk about it. I mean, it'll be a fun ride, but we'll go over some of the different rules, especially craps. So, all right. So, Matt, I think we're ready to go. I'm going to wine you. I'm going to dine you. I'm going to casino stroll you. We're going to learn some games. No matter what, you're going to roll the dice. You're going to be able to say, I went and played craps and
That's
I rolled
right.
the dice, and hopefully we get some beginner's luck.
Yeah.
That's what we really
That's what we're hoping for.
I'll be betting on you, baby. And I think we got that, Matt. We're going to take advantage of all the I don't have a ton of free stuff this trip, but we do have lounge access, and we do have some free play we're going to use off the bat to try and, minimize our losses here. And we have we're going to bring a bottle of Maker's Mark for the room.
That's
I
right.
got a bottle of champagne for the next day. And I think we have ourselves a nice compact 2-day or 2-night, probably about a day and a half, actually.
Yeah.
We're getting up there late Thursday. Trip to the casino. And hopefully you get to walk home, kick the door open when you get back to your place. Say, honey, I had such a blast. And she's like, what do you mean? You say, oh, I got you this Gucci bag at the outlets there because I won so much. We had such a good time. And she's like, oh, my hero, man. I can't believe it. That's what I'm shooting for is that. And we could also do a outlet stroll also if you want, if we're licking our wounds really hard. Then.
Yeah, we'll put that on the back burner.
All right, Matt. Well, I want to thank you for coming out. I feel like we really ripped it here. We got about 50 minutes on the this went wild. But I feel like we learned a lot about you, and I think we have a good trip together because really planning the perfect casino trip, it comes down to, who you're with.
Yeah.
The casino trip I plan for Amanda is different than the trip I'll plan with cousin Mikey, is different than the trip I'm going to plan with you.
Exactly.
So I think the information I pulled from you today, I think we got a customizable trip here, and I'm curious to see, do we end up at bingo? I don't know. Depends how Thursday night goes.
I trust you. I trust you.
Thank you. If I blow this, I don't know what I'm good at. So.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. Well, thank you. I know you got to go to Costco, go to Aldi, get all your stuff done, stock up before your trip because God forbid you lose all the money. You need some food in the house when you get back. So thank you for coming out, Matt. And you know what? I'll see you Thursday night. This is actually probably going to release Thursday. So when people start downloading this, we might be at the casino
on the way
as
up.
we speak.
That's right.
All right.
I'm excited.
Thank you very much, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
But when we're done with this, you got to come back, and people are going to want to hear about what happened.
They're going to want to
your
hear
thoughts and dreams, whether they're crushed or not.
I like it.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much, Matt. All right. Well, there it is, folks. That is the second take of the pre-casino trip for my non-casino enthusiast friend, Matt. Hopefully, if this wet your whistle and you listened to the whole thing, you enjoyed it and you enjoyed a different way to do it. So I tried to learn from what I learned in the first interview. I tried to switch it around and make it a different type of interview this time, get more into the gambling stuff because I felt a little light on it the first time. But who knows? We'll see. So let's see. I got to pack my bag. I'm actually heading to Foxwoods right now. Matt is going to be here. It's actually almost 4 p.m. He's going to be here in an hour. He has no idea I'm releasing this. Well, maybe listen to it in the car ride. But I don't know what it is, guys. I don't know if it's the fact I'm packing my bags for a 2-night trip report. I don't know if it's the fact I get to see somebody's wonderment when we go to Dave Burke. Maybe we'll get the bacon hanging on the clothesline. I don't know if it's the fact I get to watch somebody throw the craps dice for the first time. But I got a funny feeling that between me, you, my pal Robin, my buddy Matt, all the podcasters out there, all you recreational gamblers, and all you casino enthusiasts, I got a funny feeling that together we're going to make luck happen.